In this video, we shall be looking at subtraction of numbers in order basis. So how do we do this? Let's solve some few examples. Example 1. We have 423 base 5 minus 121 base 5. We do this as we do our normal subtraction in base 10 numbers. So we start from the right hand side. So I have 3 minus 1 will give me 2, 2 minus 2 will give me 0, and 4 minus 1 will give me 3. But this will be in base 5. So I have 302 base 5. Example 2. I have 477 base 3 minus 377 base 3. So I have 7 minus 7 will give me 0. 7 minus 7 again will give me what? 0. 4 minus 3 will give me 1. So I have 100 base 3. Example 3. I have 881 minus 117 all in base 9. Can you see? So let's start. I have 1 minus 7. 1 minus 7 is not possible because 7 is greater than 1. So what do? I go to my next value to borrow from it. So I'm going to borrow from the next value, which is 8. So I'm going to borrow 1 from it. So as I borrow 1, it reduces 8 to 7. Can you see that? So I'm going to add the one I borrowed to my 1. So because we are operating in base 9, so once I borrow 1, that one represents 9. Do you understand what I mean? So I add the 9 to the 1. Can you see that? Because we are working on base 9. So 9 plus 1 will give me 10. So then I can now subtract. So I now have 10 minus 7 will give me what? 3. So I have 7 left here. So 7 minus 1 will give me 6. And 8 minus 1 will give me 7. So I have my answer to be 763 base 9. Then the last example, I have 1110 base 2 minus 0011 base 2. So I start my subtraction. 0 minus 1 is not possible. What do? I go to the next value to borrow. So I'm going to borrow 1 from this. So this is reduced to 0. So on adding to my 0 here, the one I borrowed will represent 2 and not 1 now, because we are working in base 2. So I add my 2 to 0. So I have 2 plus 0 to be 2. So I can now do my subtraction now. So I have 2 minus 1 will give me 1. So we move to the next value. I have 0 left in that place value. So I have 0 minus 1, which is not possible again. So I go to the next one to borrow. So I borrow from this, and this is reduced to 0. Can you see? So as I said, that when you borrow 1, because we are operating in base 2, the one I borrow is not 1 but 2. So I add 2 to the 0 here. I have 2 plus 0 will give me 2. So I can do my subtraction again. So I have 2 minus 1 will give me 1. So I have 0, 0 here. 0 minus 0 will give me 0. Then moving to the next one, I have 1 minus 0 will give me 1. So I have my answer to be 1011 base 2.